it's Dizzy, and as you can see, I have my supplies out for making maple syrup. If you've never made maple syrup before, you may not be sure what all you need to have. And if you don't have your supplies, now is the time to be thinking about getting them. Hopefully, you can get them. I have the little fuzzy puppy dog. She's not a supply that I need, but she's nice to have around. First thing you need, besides your trees and the correct weather, is a way to make a hole. Now, for the size spiles that I need, this is the size bit that I need. This is a 5/16. This bit is used only for when I make maple syrup. Once I'm done drilling the holes, my bit gets washed and put away. That way I don't have to worry about there possibly being grease or who knows what on it. It's kept clean specifically for making the maple syrup. And you want it the right size for your spiles. Too big, your spiles are not going to stay in. Too small, and you got to re-drill the hole. The next thing, of course, you need is your spiles. Now, I have plastic ones. I also make metal, and they used to just use elderberry, which is hollow, which if you don't have anything else and you have elderberry, go for it. Now, the way the spile is made, this end goes in the tree. You can see where it's not closed on the end so that the sap will go into there. And on this side, we have a hook. We have the spout that the syrup comes out of, and we have a hole. The hole is so that you can put your lids. And yes, lids are something that you want. If you don't have the lids on, if it rains or snows, then you're getting extra water in your bucket. And that's going to make it so that you have that much more to boil out. And the way your bucket lids are made, of course it's hard to do this all one-handed, it's got this metal part here. Now I cannot do this one-handed, but this little part here, okay, that comes up, you pull it, and you then are able to hang your spile on it. Now I do have that I also use a pair of pliers because sometimes those little metal tabs can be hard to get up. And they also come in handy for pulling out the spiles once you're done collecting your sap. Of course, you also want to have made sure that your trees are big enough. So some people say 28 inches around is big enough. Other people say to go until 30. All the trees that I will be tapping are bigger than 30, so that's up to you. I have a little hammer here because the hammer can come in handy for just giving a little tap to the spile to make sure it's in well. And of course, you need your buckets themselves. I've used plastic buckets. If you don't want to buy them, you can basically use whatever you have that'll work. Buckets have a hole in the back of them. That is so that you can put that through the hook on the spout, and it will then stay in place. And of course, you need a way to collect your sap. Now, I have tried various things in the past. The first year I did this, I just tried to use an extra one of these buckets. Well, there's no handles on these buckets. It made it very difficult to carry it through the woods. It seemed like a good idea at the first. It wasn't. Another thing I tried was using just a couple of small 8-quart buckets. Well, that worked. The only problem is, if you trip, you then are going to be falling flat on your face, possibly, and you're going to be dropping your sap buckets and losing all the sap. So what I'm going to be trying this year is these water bottles. These have a nice little handle on it, makes it easy for me to carry them through the woods, and have a lid so I don't have to worry about, if I do trip, of losing the sap. And since I will be using those, a funnel. Now, you can have in the sap little bits of bark, small branches, and even bugs. So you can, if you want, take paper towel with you or even a cone coffee filter. For filtering it out, I found that it's easier to just filter it when I put it in to evaporate. Other things and optional things, you could have a tablet, little pad, notepad, and a pencil, pen for keeping track of your trees and how much sap you're getting from each tree. Another thing that they do make that I don't bother to have because I don't make enough to do this is they do make a meter for checking the sugar content of your sap. That's up to you. So that's basically the supplies that you need. I hope I didn't forget anything. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And I hope that if you're going to try this, that you have a good year. And I will talk at you later.